What is happening, baby? My name is Dallas Clark, and I'd like to welcome you to the Huddle Chat Sports Network's very own Fantasy Football Huddle presented by Danklyfe brand. Today, I'm continuing helping you new players and you players that might just need a refresher because it's been so long since fantasy football has been on our TVs. Now, today, I've already helped you guys understand what fantasy football is. I've already helped you understand how the scoring works and explain the different types of scoring leagues. And if you haven't seen those, there'll be a link in the description below, or you can check out our episode list under the playlist Rookie Playbook, and you can see all the episodes that have come out before this one to help it make a little bit more sense. Now, today we're going to be going to the draft because you cannot score points without having a team. So you're looking at, we're going to be building the best strategy for each pick in a 12-team draft today. Player rankings can be helpful, but they don't universally apply to each roster and each league type. Now, before I continue, I want to make sure to say the same thing that I told you that I was going to say 100 times before you draft your team this year, which is make sure you learn your league-specific rules, because it does not help you if you don't understand what your specific league is going to be doing. Are you getting points per reception? Are you getting half a point per reception? All of those details, those minute details that you don't think that they matter that much, will really change your rankings and impact your ability to win a fantasy football championship this year. But because of that, tier systems seem more informative. And if you watch videos like you watch mine, you'll hear a lot of people talking about having them in tiers. You have your top tiers of running backs and then your second and third tiers. Same thing with wide receivers, quarterbacks, and so on and so forth. When it comes to the tier systems, they can be more informative. However, if there's a gap between your picks and you don't know whether I should take the last running back in the second tier or if the entire wide receiver second tier is going to be completely wiped out by the time my next pick comes, then you really are kind of lost. And then that's when you start to make bad mistakes during a draft. So what people need, and especially you new players, is clear and concise directions on what you need to do on those early round selection strategies for each pick. And that's exactly what we're doing here today. But before we continue, I want to make sure to ask you, if you like the content, to smash that like button and hit that subscriptions bar as well as that notifications bell so you always can stay in the know on what's happening over here on the Huddle Chat Sports Network. Also, if you have Spotify, make sure to check us over out on Spotify at the Huddle Chat Sports Network's podcast page. And if you're listening to the audio only version and getting the convenience of that platform, make sure you hit that follow so that you always know when a new episode drops and hits those airwaves. Now, without further ado, let's get things started. So fill up your cup, roll something up, and let's get right into the first 4 picks of your fantasy football draft. Pick 1, the selection is easy, Christian McCaffrey. Barring injury, you're looking at him being almost guaranteed to put up elite production. And he puts you so far ahead of the running backs that are remaining after him that you can actually ignore the position for the next 2 rounds or so. After Christian McCaffrey has gone off the board, you're looking at the choice of Bijan Robinson or Breece Hall in the running back room. However, I personally feel like wide receiver is a better bet, especially if you're running in a PPR league where you're getting that half a point or a full point every time a wide receiver catches the ball. At that point, you're looking at your preference of Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, or CeeDee Lamb from the Dallas Cowboys. If you do grab wide receiver in that first 4 picks, you do want to make sure that you try to grab a running back by round 3. Otherwise, your best running back is going to be looking like Alvin Kamara, Kenneth Walker, or Joe Mixon. And if you don't know, that's not ideal. The ideal scenario is to take 2 running backs and 1 wide receiver by the end of the 3rd round, or vice versa, take 2 wide receivers and 1 running back by the end of the 3rd round. And if you do that, you're in great shape to build an extremely balanced roster. That's going to be the first 4 picks of your draft. Before continuing on to picks 5 through 8, I again want to make sure to ask you guys to like that content if you like the content. And we're going to be dropping below any questions that you have in the comment section on fantasy football so far, whether it's going to be who do I draft, I have this pick, who do I take, what is the strategy. Make sure you drop any questions that you have so that I can answer them in the next video for you live. Now, continuing on to picks 5 through 8, assuming that Christian McCaffrey came off the board and then Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase came off the board. The first 4 picks went Christian McCaffrey and then 3 wide receivers. You're now left with a question: Bijan Robinson or Breece Hall? If you look at Bijan Robinson, he wasn't as good as Breece Hall was last year in fantasy football scoring overall. However, Bijan Robinson was a rookie, and he has gone through a ton of positive offensive changes this year. They got a better quarterback, a better offensive-minded coach. So you're looking at Bijan Robinson having the ability to be put in a better position for success. Either running back definitely puts your backfield in great shape and you're feeling comfortable about your running backs. So I would go wide receiver with my next two picks. You're looking at somebody like Chris Olave, Deebo Samuel, Michael Pittman Jr., or Nico Collins. You could also take advantage of everybody trying to stock up on running backs and wide receivers and pounce on either one of those elite quarterbacks or elite tight ends. Me personally, that's not what I like to do, but I do that if the draft takes me that way, because you have to stay flexible in your draft. Now, if you're looking at Breece Hall and Bijan Robinson being taken in picks 5 and 6, you're now looking at Justin Jefferson or Amon-Ra St. Brown if Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, and Jamar Chase have already been taken off the board. If you take Justin Jefferson or Amon-Ra St. Brown, you're still just right there on the brink of that elite wide receiver core. So you're going to want to go running back next in that second round. Travis Etienne, Kyren Williams, Derrick Henry are some of the targets that you'd be looking at in that area if in pick 7 or 8, if you took Justin Jefferson or Amon-Ra St. Brown first with your 7th or 8th pick. If you do opt to go the route that I just named out for you, Justin Jefferson or Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then running back, you're going to go with the best value available in the 3rd round. So when that 3rd round comes, if the best value is at quarterback, if it's at wide receiver, if it's at running back, you're going to take the best value that's available on the board in that 3rd round. Now, in picks 9 through 12, this is really the fingers crossed range. You're hoping somebody makes a crazy decision in the 1st round, and you might be able to scope one of those elite wide receivers, maybe even a top tier running back. However, you're really just hoping for an impactful wide receiver at this point, especially in that early portion, that 9 and 10 portion, either Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown. And if you aren't able to get one of those two, then I'm looking at Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley being in the conversation for my pick to end the 1st round. If I'm, pick 11, pick 12. If I do go Jahmyr Gibbs, JT Saquon, if I go with that running back in that 1st round, I'm then going with Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson. I'm going with a wide receiver in the 2nd round there. And then in the 3rd round, I'm just taking the best thing that is available. And that's if you don't get that impact wide receiver. If you're one of those lucky people that gets that Justin Jefferson, that Amon-Ra St. Brown, that A.J. Brown at pick 9, 10, 11, 12, then I'm going running back priority heavy in the 2nd round. You're targeting a Travis Etienne, a Kyren Williams, a Devon Achane, a Derrick Henry, one of those to add. Because these running backs aren't quite as reliable as the running backs that you're going to be getting early in the 1st round, you're going to be tempted to hit that running back that running back pool again in the 3rd round, looking at Rachaad White, James Cook, Joe Mixon. But if you don't separate that group of running backs much further from Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Kenneth Walker, then what I'm doing is I'm waiting until round 4 to secure that 2nd running back. And I'm either taking that elite quarterback or snagging that Travis Kelce, Sam Laporta in the 3rd round. I hope this all made sense to you guys today. I know I went through a lot of information, but really, if you go through this process right here that I just named out for you through each pick, this gives you a great start in your first 3 rounds to build a really solid roster and then really start making some decisions. We have a lot more draft strategies coming down, and as we are getting through this rookie playbook, I'm hoping that you're getting more comfortable in clicking on some of the other videos as well to get some more of the advanced fantasy football information that I have available to you as well. Make sure that you always check us out on social medias to ask us any questions and get immediate contact, but you can also always drop a comment below on the video today. We're going to be continuing the rookie playbook here very shortly, but for today, class is dismissed. Keep your chin up and your attitude down. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.